Welcome everyone to today's video. My name is Dimitar from the Dimitrov Boulez Piano Duo. Today, as you can see, Elvira is not here because she had to accompany some wind players in a competition. And so I'm left with the task to record a video for you. Anyway, I had to go behind the piano and practice, and I thought I'd combine the video and my practice. Of course, I'm not going to record my whole practice session because there is a lot that I'm doing and a lot of things that I'm repeating, a lot of passages that I'm going to repeat more than I even show you. And so I'll just record part of my practice because I think that anyway for you this will be very useful to see how we practice, what we do exactly in our practice, so you can learn to practice better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to practice an impromptu by Schubert. This is the edition I'm using, Henle. It's a very nice edition. We love playing from this edition with Elvira. And I'm going to, instead of starting with the theme, which some of you, if you follow us on Instagram, I've uploaded the theme once. I'm not going to practice this now because I wanted to choose something that's actually more difficult for me and that I need to work on more. And that's going to be the first variation, which is this. Now this is probably the tempo that I would like to play it at some point, because the piece is new. I cannot yet play it in this tempo, and so that's why I think that this practice session will be even more interesting to me and to you when you actually see how, when we are not ready with a piece, what we do in order to improve that piece. It would be very easy to show you just something that's already ready, but then I don't think you would learn as much. So let's get into it. First things first, I'm not warmed up at all. I'm just sitting straight behind the piano right now, having not practiced at all. So what I'm going to do first is, and what I actually always do is start, I will divide it into two sections. The piece is also divided into two sections, and you can easily follow if you have the score. Many of you probably will have it because it's a very popular piece. It's the third impromptu from 4 Impromptus Opus 142 or D935. Then you can find the piece also on IMSLP, etc. You can find it also for free. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to practice. I'm going to start this first section in a slow tempo. The second part of the variation, but I'm going to stop here. One of the most important things in this variation, if you've played it or if you want to learn it, is that you have to have a very good division. No, I don't know if that's what you say. You have to balance very well the voices. You have a main voice in the right hand, which is the melody. And you have an inner voice of and so what one of the basic rules here is, if you want the piece to sound beautiful, is you have to have the inner voice, the feeling, the 16th notes. You want to have them softer than the melody. And so when I played in a slow tempo right now, the first thing and the thing that probably I always look for and always pay attention to is that I have a good balance. Now, after that, I'm going to try it in a faster tempo because that's always how I practice. Practicing slow is a must, but practicing slow alone, only practicing slow, is not going to get you anywhere. You have to try and test to see your reactions. What happens if you play a little bit faster? Here, for example, I'm not very happy with changing the pedal. What I heard is I heard a little bit of the previous harmony. This is one harmony, and then you have, and it's nice to change this harmony because it sounds very clean. And even if you play a very romantic piece, you want to have still a clean sound, especially when it's so clearly different harmonies. You want different pedals. So that's what I heard. I'm going to take it a bar back, because that's what I always do. If I have a mistake, I'm going to take it a bar back and try to see if I have a better pedal. That's also not good. It's very subtle, but it's important to be fixed. I'm not yet sure about the tempo I want to reach with this variation, because it's very early on. I'm not really even interested in that. So what I'm doing is I'm always combining slow with faster practice, and with time my faster practice is going to increase. And then when I feel more and more stable, I'm going to decide on approximate goal from a tempo. What we see very often with our students and with a lot of other people that have lessons with us sometimes is that we see that people want to play fast without being ready to play fast. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. You're only going to actually even become worse. Your skills are going to become worse. Actually, you're not developing any skills. Your playing is only going to sound sloppy. So don't do that. One thing I wanted to mention here is, if you're playing this piece, there are some jumps. For example, if you look at bar 25, 26, sorry, and then from this, I have to jump from the B flat to the C, and I'll play it now again for you. You can listen that I don't rush this jump. I will explain why. Listen to it. If I rush it, I'm going to do this. First of all, it's very unpleasant. Second of all, musically, it's not natural. You have to always think of how can I play more musical. And one way to think about playing more musical is to think of sing the piece inside you, like in your head, or if you want to sing it, if you don't have neighbors, sing it normally, and you will see that sometimes you need to breathe. Sometimes in order to make an interval to sing this, and these singers very often would need time. That's one of the ways to think about how do I play more musical. Jumps usually need more time, and when you allow your hand to take more time musically to sound very, very nice, and also it will be much more pleasant for your hand. And so that's the reason that I don't force here this on time, because I just sound like very straightforward, and I don't like this. So if you look at the piece, actually in the beginning we have You don't have that many big intervals. And further on, if you look, you have he basically is going into minor seconds, into major seconds. To those of you who don't know what a second is, I think you have to first study some theory. It's very important before you play such a piece to know what a second is. It's two notes next to each other. For example, C and a D is a second, a major second, and C sharp is a minor second. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this now, but if most of the time you will see that it's seconds. Here we have a different interval, and it's a little bit bigger. It's still not that big of an interval, but I take time as well. Because the theme begins again. And so what I'm showing you with this is that follow what's going on with the piece. Play the melody with the bass, with the left hand, and you will find the moments where very naturally you would need to take a little bit time. Then from bar 23. Here I take time because we went a little bit higher. We went up. And then when he's bringing us back where we would think that perhaps the theme is going to start again, but he is doing something else. And then we get this big interval between 25 and 26. And that's also one place where I actually take a little bit of time. When I arrive in 26, those of you who actually play this piece, you would know about this. In 26, if you look, let me actually take the camera and show you. This is bar 26 actually, and if you look carefully, you will see that here I have to change from third to fourth finger. And that's why I take a little bit of time here, so I don't force myself to do that. Let me see if I can show it like this with the camera. So you see, so I have to change. And so I don't rush there. Let me show when I play it from this angle. See, I take the time to shift my hand. And so obviously this practice session turned into having interest in the timing, in always, like I always said, in the following, the first and most important thing is to have a good balance between melody. Then after that, as you saw, I discovered while I was practicing on camera that I need to watch out with the pedal to change the different harmonies very well. And then the third thing that I thought it was important in this practice session was the timing. Not forcing myself to play straightforward everywhere and not take any time. It is very important to take some time. If you don't know where, you can talk to your teacher. He or she is going to know and is going to tell you where you can take a little bit of time, because it's very important for your musicality, for your musical development, the feeling you have for music, but also for your technique. It is very important if you want to develop good technique, good skills, to understand that timing is important as well. Let me try with all those things, with all those ideas in mind, once more this first section. That's a great mistake. will finish the video right now and I will go and continue with the next section of this piece. At some point I will record again a video for you showing you the progress I've made with this piece. But I think this is useful for now, for you to just have a glimpse at what I do in my practice session. So what's not going to be on camera, I'm going to go back to slow tempo, perhaps once more, and then 2 or 3 times again faster tempo. So like I said, I always combine slower and faster tempo, so that's what you're not going to see. And every practice session I discover different things. Sometimes it's about balance, sometimes it's about timing, sometimes it's about being even, sometimes it's even about practicing a little bit with a metronome. I don't often practice with metronome because I don't need it, but like one of my Instagram posts yesterday, I think my Instagram post was exactly, I had to practice a piece that we are going to play together with Elvira, and I noticed there that I was rushing between the different sections. When the rhythm had to change, I rushed and I changed the tempo, and that's not good for me, especially when the piece is new, because it's going to lead to feeling unstable and I'm going to start making mistakes. And so every practice session actually leads to something, inspires something different. Now when I turn off the camera, perhaps something new is going to come up during the second section of this piece. And so make sure that you always combine slow practice with faster practice and just follow the tips we're giving you in our videos. Anyway, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like this video. And if you want to help our channel grow, what you can do for us as well, aside from subscribing and liking the video, you can share actually this video or some of our other videos with people you know and people you think might enjoy this video. That will help us enormously. We're also on Instagram. You can check our videos there, our posts there. For me, recording this video was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you, or I will see you next time.